Danielle Bregoli's stardom began on a 2016 episode of Dr. Phil when she uttered the phrase that made her famous.
Catch me outside, how about that?
She has since reinvented herself as rapper Bhad Bhabie, spinning viral infamy into Billboard success. This is the surprising untold truth of Bhad Bhabie. Bregoli was thrust into the public eye in her infamous 2016 episode of Dr. Phil, which was titled, "I want to give up my car-stealing, knife-wielding, twerking 13-year-old daughter who tried to frame me for a crime." Wait, what?
She's so over-exaggerated. But she'll be like, oh, she threw boulders at my window.
It was pretty much as insane as it sounded. But as it turns out, Bhad Bhabie wasn't always so bad, and the misspelling is actually an acronym for Been Hated and Doubted. According to the New York Times, Bregoli started getting in trouble when she was about 12 years old. After being transferred to an alternative school, Bhabie stopped going to class after reportedly making friends with some questionable people. Bregoli may have dabbled in drug use and picked fights with her mom, Barbara Ann, but it supposedly wasn't to the extent that we saw in her daytime television debut. The star told Complex that she, quote, wasn't stealing cars at like 6. If there was ever any evidence that Bregoli's relationship with her mom wasn't nearly as damaged as the cameras alleged, it's the fact that in 2017, she reportedly paid off her mother's $65,000 mortgage for Christmas. Danielle Bregoli isn't the first person to want to throw punches on a flight, but she happens to be the one person who reportedly did throw a punch on a commercial airplane.
While boarding, an argument erupted between Barbara Ann, Danielle, and another passenger.
According to TMZ, the trouble began when a passenger reportedly fought with Bregoli's mom because she was blocking the aisle. Rather than offering to help Bhabie's mama, who was wearing a walking cast for a foot injury, the passenger allegedly wrapped her hands around Barbara Ann's neck. As Bregoli told Power 106 Los Angeles,
So I turned around, I'm kind of laughing, I'm like, my mom will literally throw you back in Florida. You don't even need to get on the plane, she'll throw your ass back there.
Bregoli reportedly punched the woman, but ultimately decided to back off.
As soon as I hit her, I kind of thought about it, that's when I stepped back because I was like, I'm not going to jail in California.
The irate passenger subsequently made a citizen's arrest before police showed up. They were all booted from the Spirit Airlines flight, and the airline later released a statement.
Police removed 3 passengers from Spirit Flight 310 during the boarding process at LAX Monday night following an altercation.
Danielle Bregoli turned her appearance on Dr. Phil into a multi-million-dollar career, all thanks to one particularly memorable soundbite.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside, how about that?
Though her family struggled to make ends meet after her mom's long-term disability ran out, this mother-daughter duo is sitting pretty comfortably in 2019. According to TMZ, Bregoli landed an Atlantic record deal that's been valued in the millions. She also became the youngest female rapper to chart on the Hot 100 with her first single, These Hoes. By that time, she was already reportedly charging a minimum of $30,000 per meet and greet. So just how much money is she making? According to TMZ, a New York bar offered her $5,000 to visit, and she laughed at the idea. According to People, the bankroll got even bigger for Bregoli in 2019 when she positioned herself to be the Kylie Jenner of knockoff makeup.
I brought my friend Laquana here with me to help me do my face. So this is highlighter and blush.
The star signed a controversial $900,000 endorsement deal with Copycat Beauty, a cosmetic company whose entire business model is built around copying designer cosmetics and selling them at drugstore prices. If Danielle Bregoli's rap career seems completely random to you, well, that's because it is. The New York Times reports the teenage star never really gave rapping much thought until her team started brainstorming the best way to capitalize on her viral success. At the end of the day, a film career took too long to launch, and her 15 minutes of fame would surely be over before she ever got established in the industry. Rapping seemed to be the better way to go. She's hardly the first social media star to break into music, as much as we'd like to forget Jake Paul. And as it just so happened, she already liked to sing along to the radio in the car. Bregoli told the New York Times that she was initially reluctant. I was like, I don't want to put these headphones on. I don't want to get in this booth. For better or worse, that feeling was short-lived. After being thrust into the spotlight following her Dr. Phil appearance, Danielle Bregoli was better known as the Me Outside Girl. She even turned the phrase into a rap song and music video because, obviously. Her mom did her best to explain to Dr. Phil what the phrase meant.
Catch her outside means she'll go outside and do what she has to do. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Since then, the phrase has been emblazoned across t-shirts and sweatshirts sold at Walmart. In 2017, Bregoli threatened to sue the retailer for selling merchandise featuring her notorious catchphrase. According to TMZ, she asked the retail giants to pull the items, and her lawyers were looking to get a cut of the sales that had already occurred. To date, Walmart is still selling the merchandise. Bregoli may not want retailers banking off of her poetic prose, but she's apparently retired the phrase from her lexicon. Her manager told the New York Times she's not allowed to say "Cash me outside. No one on my team is allowed to use those words ever." Danielle Bregoli has some pretty high-maintenance grooming habits for a teenager. Her long acrylic nails are her signature, and she's reportedly been doing them the same way since she was 10 years old. The New York Times reported that Baby gets her nails done twice a week, and it's very serious business. A Complex interview revealed that she's not immune to having an absolute meltdown during the process, and she isn't opposed to ripping the plastic tips out of her bleeding nail beds if they don't come out just right. She also reportedly spent $40,000 on a set of porcelain veneers. According to TMZ, she wasn't fond of the overcrowding on her bottom row of chompers, and apparently having a ton of money saves you from suffering through years of braces like every other teen in America. After her first Dr. Phil appearance, Danielle Bregoli was shipped off to Turnabout Ranch, where she looked after a horse named Chief and learned how to not be, as her mom put it, the Antichrist. The serenity was short-lived, and by her second stint on the show, Bregoli claimed she made the TV psychologist. The funny part was, both of them knew she wasn't totally wrong.
Well, I guess what's good for you is I made you just like how Oprah made you. You were nothing before I came on this show.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Let's be real. When was the last time anything on Dr. Phil went viral? In an interview with Complex, Dr. Phil owned up to the fact that Bregoli brought some unexpected relevance to his lengthy career. He called it his, quote, moment of infamy. As for Bregoli, she told Maxim that Dr. Phil was a, quote, bald-headed bitch. Once Bhad Bhabie got her 15 minutes of fame, she was reportedly reluctant to embrace it. In an interview with The Fader, the rambunctious rapper admitted her instinct was to, quote, cuss out anyone who spoke to her and asked for a photo.
Every fan that would come to me, "Okay, take a picture with you, you." I think you want to take a picture with me. Like, I don't even know who the you are. She's coming up taking a picture.
Since then, she's stopped baring her teeth. All it took for her to settle down was the realization that she actually was famous. Since then, Bregoli has taken quite nicely to her A-lister lifestyle, but she wants everyone to know she can give up the glamorous life anytime she wants. Telling Complex, "I don't want to make it seem like I wouldn't be able to survive without fame, because I did it for 13 years." Bregoli's relationship with her father, Ira Peskowitz, is complicated. In the Roll in Peace remix, the rapper claims her father walked out on the family, only to come back into her life when she was famous. In a Complex interview, she also alleged her father partnered up with her best friend to try to ruin her fame. Though he wasn't very involved in her upbringing, Peskowitz tells a different side of the story, claiming he didn't walk out, he was forced. An article in the Palm Beach Post details the struggles Peskowitz allegedly faced while trying to build a relationship with his daughter. When Bregoli was 4 months old, her mother allegedly threatened to kill Peskowitz before hitting him in the back with a closed fist and plastic hanger in front of their daughter.
She's threatened to kill my wife, which a police report was done in Massachusetts. So this woman just wouldn't leave us alone.
Though a judge filed a temporary injunction for protection, it wasn't long before Bregoli's mother reportedly hit back with similar allegations. In 2004, the courts awarded Bregoli's mom, quote, sole parental decision-making responsibility, but did give Peskowitz visitation rights. Bregoli's mother reportedly made visitation difficult, and despite the solutions presented by the court, a positive resolution supposedly never occurred. Peskowitz claims he still pays $1,100 a month in child support, while Bregoli's mother filed documents to remove his name from their daughter's birth certificate, according to TMZ. Several think pieces have dissected Danielle Bregoli's look and attitude to determine whether her shtick qualifies as cultural appropriation. Does part of her fame rely on adopting an exaggerated portrayal of Black culture? It's a loaded question, but to Bregoli, the answer is simple. She told Fader,
I look at that cultural appropriation and I just ignore it because it's ridiculous. It really is. You cannot act the color. Do not tell me I'm acting Black because I'm not.
Thanks for clearing that up. Bregoli wasn't always the hardened, troubled teen throwing drinks on Iggy Azalea and being escorted out of A-list parties by security. When her mom, Barbara Ann, was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007, Bregoli spent time supporting her throughout 36 weeks of chemotherapy. In 2009, the Palm Beach Post published a Mother's Day feature that outlined how Bregoli took care of her mama. The star reportedly made friends with nurses and learned about the disease. She reportedly held her mother's hair and rubbed her back when the chemo made her vomit. Bregoli was a rock for her mom, who was overwhelmed with running a household while battling cancer. Good news, Barbara Ann reportedly went into remission less than a year after being diagnosed. Bregoli may finally be old enough to use Instagram, but the viral star isn't the one keeping up with her more than 16 million followers. According to the New York Times, Bhad Bhabie's Instagram account is run by her managers because she can't control herself. She told the newspaper, I get mad and I do dumb shit. It's better off that they have it than me. Because Bregoli has a passion for scrolling through her feed like most teenage girls, the star reportedly has a private Instagram account. She's also involved in Snapchat. According to TMZ, the star was poised to break records when her Snapchat original series Bringing Up Baby saw more than 10 million unique viewers within 24 hours. To put that into perspective for you, Keeping Up with the Kardashians reportedly only gets 1.5 million viewers per episode.
How about that?
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.